Go ahead.
Okay. We've had a long couple days,
Oh, yes.
and I didn't get a chance to post last night. We got in late, and Gabby's got a hold of me, so we're gonna now do.
Therapies.
Yeah, I'd show
Literally.
it to you, but
Therapies.
don't want to drop the phone. Long story short, we had a talk with Julie. Julie is great. Back for her 2-year deal, checkup, and we checked out. So that was yesterday. We checked out of the facility today.
Let's talk to Megan.
Talked to Megan also yesterday. We'll do another video tomorrow. I'll post Megan's talk with Megan. But I think overall, we're gonna say 9 out of 10 experience. You know, I wish there would have been more progressive change, but or measurable tumor reduction. But there was a whole lot of positive of
The people, the experience, the vibe, the energy, the everything.
we didn't have any measurable starting point until now. So to see that, okay, in this 2.5 week period, there's been no growth, a little bit of reduction, a lot of cleaned up blood work, heavy metals got cleaned up. The negatives were there was no change in the cholesterol, my good cholesterol, little things like that. And I guess we won't burn up a bunch of time. I might do a specific video Sunday that just summarizes long talking about what I learned or what we went through. So again, thank you guys for following along, and Karen, and I don't know, maybe 2 more videos, maybe 3.
So ready to come home.
All right.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you guys all.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Hi guys. This is Julie. Julie, we met just a couple of days ago, is back for your 2-year. You're coming back for 2 years.
Yeah.
And Julie's got a great story, and Gabby started talking to her, and so Julie agreed to come and do a talk with us. Just so I basically had those 3 questions. What was your diagnosis and when?
Okay.
What was the testimonials or the reason, what brought you to Hope for Cancer? And then what was your experience so far?
Okay.
Yeah, and any other traditional treatment or anything that you feel just, yeah.
All right. I'll see if I can remember all
Yeah,
three
I'll
of
do
those
one at
questions.
a time. Yeah. So what was your
The
diagnosis?
diagnosis was endometrial cancer, stage 4. So I had some pain. I went in to get checked out.
Endometrial.
Needed surgery, so it's uterine cancer.
Okay.
And she got in there and took out the uterus and a whole lot more. And it had spread quite a bit.
Gotcha.
So had surgery, and when the doctor called me the day after surgery, and I was napping, she shared the good news with me that it was stage 4, and that she said you'll need chemo and radiation. So I did 6 rounds of chemo and 3 rounds of radiation, and then they declared me free and clear. And 3 months later, I got a phone call saying it's back. And so I went back and did a clinical trial that was okay for 4 or 5 months until it wasn't okay, and then stopped. And then I went back on chemo. And somewhere in there I said, time out, I need a break. And I'd been looking for a functional physician, and long story short, when I finally found one 5 hours away, she said, have you heard of Hope for Cancer? Research Hope for Cancer. You need to go to Hope for Cancer. So I
So
called.
functional doctor is just a holistic
I think so.
approach?
Right.
I mean, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah. Functional physician, I think, is similar to a naturopathic doctor.
Okay.
So I called the admissions at Hope for Cancer. It sounded amazing. I wanted to go, but then I heard the price tag, and I was like, there's no way. And so, long story short on that, some friends said, you need to go, and if you tell people what's going on, they'll help you. And so a friend started a Give, Send, Go for me. And anyway, I needed $47,000, and $47,103 came in 10 days.
Oh my God.
So I came, and
That's great.
I was pretty sick when I got here, and it was a challenging 3 weeks for me, really challenging.
When did you come here? For the first?
Pretty much 2 years ago.
Okay, so all that
Happened prior
chemo
to,
and radiation
Yeah.
happened. Okay.
Yeah, I got the diagnosis 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And came after a 1.5 years of traditional care. And have maintained traditional care this whole time. So I went home after my 3 weeks here, and I knew that I was going to need help right away. And my doctors here had said, you're going to need not a thoracentesis, but a paracent, where they stick the needle in your gut and draw off fluid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which Natalie's husband has had.
Yes. I don't know what that's called either.
Yeah, I think it's a paracentesis. So I had that, and my oncologist just said, there's nothing else we can do to help you apart from putting you back on chemo. And I said, let's do it if that's what we need to do. So I did more rounds of chemo, and it just kind of drove me into the ground, and I was essentially bedridden for about 6 weeks and lost 30 pounds. But I knew that from the beginning of the diagnosis, I never thought I'd have cancer. I ate healthy, I was an athlete. It was just like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't on any medications. I didn't see a doctor regularly because I had already experienced healing on not a lot of levels, but like a cold. I've been healed of a cold. I've been healed of strep throat. I've seen God move on my behalf. So anyway, during that time when I was so sick, I just said, God, I don't think you're done with me yet, but I need a miracle. And I would lay on the couch and I'd think about getting up and washing some dishes and lay back down. And I couldn't get up. And the same with like throwing in a load of wash. I couldn't do that. But one day, after about 6 weeks, I could do it. And then I came back to the couch and just was knocked out. And after about a week of being able to do one or maybe two things, the day came I could actually vacuum the downstairs. And I just laid on the couch and cried and thanked him because I thought, I'm coming up. And so that was a 1.5 years ago now. And I think it was about 1.5 years ago. And so since that time, I've stayed with my oncologist, but she said to me just this past October, when a friend of mine who takes me said, doesn't Julie look good? And my oncologist stepped back and put her stethoscope around her neck, and she said, I never expected you to live this long. So this made me really grateful that I had H4C on board, because for me, it gave me a foundation that I wasn't getting at the oncologist. For instance, her first meeting with me, she said, don't go crazy on me. Don't feel like you can only eat broccoli and spinach, and you can have ice cream and all these things. And so, but thankfully at H4C, they gave us the tools, the education, and then you can choose how you want to live when you go home.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm not one of the cleanest eaters that has ever left H4C, but I'm also not, I don't cheat the most either, you know, and everybody needs a desire to live, I think, to keep fighting, because cancer's nasty. But the Word of God has really ultimately been my anchor, because it says that by the stripes of Jesus we were healed. So past tense. And that was hard for my mom to understand. It's like past tense. And it's that he already paid the price for your healing, for my healing. It's already done. But the enemy is a thief, and he'll come and steal your life from you if you let him. And so for me, I've just hung on to some of those scriptures, like those days that are hard days. I love that, the story of Abraham and Sarah. Do you know that the story of them, that Abraham, God promised him a son.
Yeah.
And I don't know how old he was when God promised him the son, but they'd never been able to have kids. And now he's 80 or 90 years old, and she's 70 or 80 years old when we kind of get to see or hear about him. And then so from 90 to 100, he just said, I'm not paying any attention to my body. I'm not paying any attention to Sarah's body. I know we don't have any kids, but we're going to have a kid. And he would have been the laughing stock, except he was the wealthiest guy around. And so they're probably like, can you believe he thinks he's going to? And so that there's a scripture, Romans 4:11, that says, not considering his body, he received that which he had been promised. And so for me, that scripture has been what I hang on to. And you'll find something else might speak to you, but it will give you the strength and the vision to see yourself whole and strong, or whatever it is lacking at any point in this journey, just to make a way for you.
Mm. Yeah.
I got on a roll there.
Yeah. Bring me to tears, probably. So, in your experience with Hope for Cancer, you got the dietary plan, or the nutritional plan. You've got the things to stay away from.
Yeah.
The modalities that we do with the infrared light and all that. Do you do that
I do.
still?
Yeah. So I first I bought a sauna before I even went to H4C, and I was told get in it every day for an hour for 90 straight days. So, and it'll kick the cancer. So I did that.
Infrared sauna.
Yeah. So it's like the pizza oven
Yeah.
that you lay in it. So it didn't have the doors and it wasn't a cabin.
Okay.
So it was, and I called the company to check out the cabin style. And the lady said, I think she said, how are you doing? I thought that's a weird question for her. Do you have a diagnosis or anything like that? And I just said, yeah, I do. And I told her, and she said, then you need this style and you need to do this with it. So I had that before I came, and then I bought a red light lamp when I got home. And then slowly over time, and I was able to get more of the tools.
Yeah.
And
The hyperbaric chamber.
yeah, that came as just kind of almost a miracle. As a high school friend, one night I was having trouble sleeping and talking to the Lord about things. And I remembered I'd had lunch with a high school friend who lived 5 hours away. And he had said, do you need anything? Do you need anything? And I said, no, I'm good, thanks. And he said, if you ever need anything, let me know. And so I also had gotten stem cell injection before I came to Hope for Cancer.
Oh.
And that came by way of a gift from friends as well. And so I said, I think it would help me if I had another round of stem cells, because it had been a year now, or a hyperbaric chamber. And his wife had been through cancer, and he talked with her, and they said, we want to help you get a hyperbaric chamber.
Mm.
Yeah, so if I did everything I have at home, between like coffee enemas, I have the red and blue padded light, the LED
Yeah.
photon lights.
Yeah.
Ultrasounding under the red light lamp, the sauna, and the hyperbaric chamber. It would probably take me 5 hours every day. But I work full time, and so I don't do the sauna and the hyperbaric every day.
Gotcha. Yeah, we were just talking about the same, adding up, God, this is a regiment, you know?
Yeah.
But so in what you're doing now is the combined,
Yeah.
and then your oncologist is pretty respectful of your choices and
She is. She didn't sound like it. For instance, when she heard that my brother felt like I needed to tell her I had been for some stem cells. And in hindsight, I thought she would have known if she checked the blood work carefully. But anyway, I told her. And so when she came in the door, she goes, "So, stem cells, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." "How did that go?" Or no, she goes, "How much did that shyster charge you?" So that clued me in
yeah.
how she was going to be.
That's kind of the vibe I get from our oncologist, and I just pretty much have stopped communication. And we found another cancer treatment center in Scottsdale, Arizona that I've talked to that
Okay.
they do modified. But then we learned today that even Hope for Cancer will do chemo and radiation if they feel it's necessary.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm kind of on this, you know, let's see what the results are. And Gabby and I asked some pretty hard questions today to Dr. Mel. Just, you know, hey, Gabby's, you know, do you have an eject button when, or what'd you say?
Is there a DEFCON 5?
A DEFCON 5 button, yeah. You know, and he said, yeah, if we see it, man, we'll guide you
Absolutely.
in that path, yeah.
Yeah, it might help you to know. I've stuck with that oncologist because she essentially saved my life surgically. And then her assistance ongoing, and then I have CT scans every 3 months. Right now I've been in immunotherapy infusions every 3 weeks and a daily chemo pill that works well for the type of cancer that I was diagnosed with.
And that chemo pill came from your oncologist,
It did.
working in conjunction with the holistic 5 hours away.
Well, she didn't know about the 5 hours. But what I've learned to do with her is, she found out that I was doing something. And when I came, so at some point she'll start asking some questions, and then a friend that goes to these appointments with me said to me, "Why don't you go ahead and tell her what you're doing?" And so I said, "Okay, I do ultrasound every day. I am under the red light. I do infrared sauna. I do hyperbaric chamber." "Hyperbaric chamber? What?" I said, "Yeah." "How often?" I said, "Pretty much every day for the last 365 days." "What? Do you know how many patients I could have helped if I had known that?" I thought it promoted cancer. I said, "I can give you 2 studies if you want it that show the opposite." So for her, all of a sudden
She's learning.
I wasn't as crazy, right. And then another time she did a urine sample and I had methylene blue on board. So my pee comes out blue. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Methylene blue." "What?" She gets up, storms out the door, didn't know where she was going. I just waited. She came back and she had been to the pharmacist and said, "Does methylene blue interfere with chemo?" And she said, the answer was no. And she comes in. "Good thing it doesn't interfere with your chemo." So she's feisty, but I think I've also learned that her hands are tied.
Yeah.
She cannot even tell a patient about a coffee enema, even though I was doing magnesium citrate, chugging it by the bottles, trying to go, and coffee enemas cured that, just like that. So, they ask me every time, "How are you pooping? How are you peeing?" And I say, "The coffee enemas are great."
Yeah,
I
they
can
can't
tell.
even talk about it. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing that I'm most disappointed about with my experience so far, just watching my mom and dad and then our interaction with this oncologist. They're following a script. They diagnosed me with HPV 16, which is a STD, at which always, even when it flares up, ends up in a tumor or a cancer. So I was like, no way, man. I mean, no way. I just, I'm devastated thinking that my 30 years ago lifestyle is catching up to me. So when I got to Hope for Cancer, I said, clearly, I want to be tested for this HPV 16. And Gabby went separately to a different location and got tested. We both came back not with HPV 16. So it's like, you guys just put me in a category of, okay, this is what this, and it looks like that. So that was my diagnosis. Yeah. So I don't know. We're going so far beyond. I hope we don't lose anybody, but you know what? It's
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
don't care.
I do have to ask a question because I know that this is something that you are struggling with and your family is struggling with.
What's that?
Your first numbers came back, and they were not the miracle
bullet
that you were hoping for.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people really do have stunning turnarounds in 3 weeks. Others have stunning turnarounds by their first checkup. I didn't. I did have 5 tumors here, ovarian cancer, 5 tumors here, that then I think 1 may have resolved itself.
Yeah.
And I went home sicker than when I arrived. But I had on board all these things now.
Ton of information.
Yeah, and the ultrasound alone with the activator that we call gunpowder turns your tongue black and your teeth black. I've done that 6 days a week, every week, except maybe 2, for the last 2 years. And that, I think, is one of the most powerful things, at least for me. But then, you can get access to other stuff. For some people, it's high dose vitamin C, or just however you feel led in the journey.
Yeah.
But cancer is a defeated foe, and it cannot withstand the Word of God, let alone all the therapies that you're doing, working at staying in harmony with your wife, as little stress as possible.
Yeah.
Just all those things that you learn through these 3 weeks, and that you'll learn ongoing, as she's researching and bringing things to you and stuff. It can't, it's a defeated foe, and you can put it under your feet because of what Jesus did, let alone everything you've just done at Hope for Cancer, and that what you're going to choose to do going forward.
Yeah.
And fear is, it can seem so formidable, but if you will push through it and just say, I refuse to fear, and then make your statement of whatever it is you're believing in, your statement of faith.
Healing.
It causes the fear to go. Like, fear's not very strong. It can feel strong. It can feel crushing.
When you're not taking action.
Yeah. And if you get a negative CT scan, I've gotten enough negative CT scans, whatever, that is like, I feel like a football player, and my brothers all played, and when they get hit at their feet and they just upside down, just like that, and then it takes a while to get back up again, 2 or 3 days. But if you'll allow God to be your anchor, He'll keep writing you, and you'll get better and stronger as you go.
It's a good word.
Good. It's the truth.
Probably a good one for us to end on. I bet you I could talk for another 2 hours. So.
I'm not sure anybody would watch.
Yeah, but it'd be a great conversation.
Quick shout out to Becca. Miss Julie here started your your little tea. So thank you, Becca.
All right. Bye, guys.
Absolutely.
Bye.